This morning, we continue to hear from those impacted by Hurricane Katrina 20 years ago. News 2's Destiny Beasley sat down with one family that was forced to relocate right here in Baton Rouge.
Slow down.
The floodwaters of Hurricane Katrina swallowed neighborhoods and stole the lives of thousands. For many who called New Orleans home, the rising waters forced them to move away.
We stayed in a hotel for Dallas. We booked it for 2 days, thinking we would come back. So how little did we know?
Before Katrina made landfall, Gavin Richard and his family evacuated to Dallas. But when he returned home, the site was unrecognizable.
When we were finally able to come in, just seeing the water lines on the homes, the trash and debris that was gutted out, left on the front lawn, even the mold that they talked about that was going to be here for months on end, thinking the environment was going to be bad. It was, it was tough. It was tough.
Katrina destroyed what Richard would call home. His home up to 5 feet in water, and his family had no other choice but to relocate to Baton Rouge.
This wasn't like a fire took your home and you could go to your cousin's house up down the street. This was 80% of the city underwater. And you had no choice but to stay in a strange land or stay in and get used to your environment and do the best that you could.
Leaving his home behind, he was in a city foreign to what he knew.
There was a blessing in disguise. A man by the name of A.C. Odell, the late Mr. Odell, who was a family friend, who was a friend of my aunt's, well, actually the husband of my aunt's best friend who had passed, and he took us in. And we stayed with him for several months, and I always speak fondly of him, so he was a great man. He didn't have to do that.
Insurance claim attorney Lauren Checky was in law school during Katrina. After seeing the impact, she says that's when she wanted to go into insurance law.
I didn't even know this was an area of law, and it was really because of my experiences with people during Katrina that, it sounds crazy to say it shaped my destiny, but it really did.
After restarting law school in January, Checky says she spent her time helping others rebuild, further pushing her to assist survivors in protecting their homes from future natural disasters.
I think pre-Katrina, people had this notion that, I paid for insurance, so when I need my insurance, they're going to be there. And I think that Katrina was really a rude awakening for the people of Southeast Louisiana, because what they very quickly learned is that either their insurance wasn't there, or it wasn't there quick enough, or it wasn't there with enough money.
Checky is working for an insurance claim law firm in New Orleans, continuing the work she started 20 years ago, protecting others and their property.
We don't just come out of the woodwork when there's a storm. And more than anything, I hate to see people being taken advantage of, especially when they are in a vulnerable position and needing help. So, just educate yourselves.
During his time in Baton Rouge, Richard finished his undergrad years at Southern University, where he wrote a book not only recalling his memories during the catastrophic weather events, but tying in the experiences from others. Years later, Richard is back in New Orleans. Although he says it's not the same, it's still home.
I knew things were never going to be the same, which in some ways, in a lot of ways, it has not. But I also know that we're also a resilient people, and New Orleans is resilient, and, New Orleans will bounce back. So that's what I believe in.
Destiny Beasley, WBRZ, News 2.
Now, to hear more from the voices of Hurricane Katrina, visit our website, WBRZ.com.